Your Excellencies, dear guests and attendees on Zoom or in Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum for Knowledge Foundation, I would like to thank you very much in this press conference to launch the Global Knowledge Indicator for 2020. At the beginning, I would like to thank Dr. Khaled Abdel Ghaffar, the Minister of Higher Education and Scientific Research in Egypt, and also His Excellency Jamal Ben Ahwereb, CEO for Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum Knowledge Fund, and also His Excellency Dr. Murad Wahba, Associate Administrator, UNDP, and also Dr. Khaled Abdel Shafi, the UNDP Regional Director for Arab countries, and also Dr. Hani Turki, the head of technicians and the head of the knowledge project. So welcome all, and we would like to welcome everybody who joined us in this session. Dear guests, there is an interpretation for the people who would like. We will start this with the global knowledge indicator. Your Excellencies, just a few seconds so we can deal with the technical problem. Thank you for your understanding.
calls for a paradigm shift on a societal level. Without delay, we must ask ourselves, how can we work more effectively together? What should we do to emerge from this stronger? Will we rise to the occasion? This crisis heralds the importance of knowledge as a global public good. At the United Nations Development Programme and the Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum Knowledge Foundation, we continue to believe in the crucial role that knowledge plays. And we pledge to accelerate and deepen our efforts to build forward better in a decade of action. Today, we launch the 2020 edition of the Global Knowledge Index. We held fast to our commitment to release this edition even at the height of this once-in-a-century crisis, because we understand the needs of policymakers to react quickly to opportunities and risks across multiple disciplines. The Global Knowledge Index 2020 covers 138 countries. This year, Switzerland, the United States, Finland, Sweden, and the Netherlands have topped the list. Among the Arab countries, the United Arab Emirates is ranked first, advancing 3 ranks on the global level. The results of the Global Knowledge Index 2020 show that countries all over the globe need to invest more in research, development, and innovation, where the global average is the lowest among the sectors forming the index. The Global Knowledge Index provides countries a basis to advance forward-thinking strategy in the promotion of strong knowledge economies.
Ladies and gentlemen, after watching this short clip, now we move to this information. Egypt achieved the highest advance in the knowledge indicator, that it jumped 10 ranks. I would like to welcome Dr. Khaled Abdel Ghaffar, the Minister of Higher Education and Scientific Research in Egypt, to say his word. Your Excellency, floor is yours. At the beginning, I would like to thank you very much, Your Excellency Jamal Ben Ahwereb, CEO of MBRF, Dr. Murad Wahba, Associate Administrator for UNDP, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. I am really honored to be with you to launch this indicator for 2020, which is a partnership between UNDP and Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum for knowledge, under the umbrella of Knowledge Project. Especially Egypt was the first country to support this knowledge project through hosting a lot or many activities, and also its active participation in laying down policies on the level of activities. Especially this year, where it held a Knowledge Week in Cairo before this lockdown because of coronavirus. And after this Knowledge Week, it was declared for the highest council for knowledge, constituted of the deans of colleges, and also it stemmed from this council, the knowledge council and with this authority worked together to put suggestions to build the community, knowledge community in Egypt. And with this cooperation with Knowledge Project, and since the launch of 2019 to 2018 results, we studied strengths and weaknesses in Egypt and how we can solve these problems. So the results, Egypt jumped 27 ranks to be 72 globally, which is the first country globally to advance in this indicator, and that reflects the huge effort that have been done from the Egyptian government to build the knowledge-based economy and the human capital, regardless of the crisis and what we are facing globally. it was clear the attention of Egypt this year. So it jumped 11 rank before pre-education, pre-university education, and also in the technical and the vocational training, and also it got advanced 7 ranks in the higher education to be 42 globally, which is the best for Egypt in the 7 sectors in this indicator. Regarding the other sectors, also Egypt achieved more progress in development and innovation and 7 ranks in enabling, and also 1 position in economy to be 68 globally. This results in comparison to this year and last year that reflect the will and determination for the government to be in the advanced countries again globally. But also we understand that need a lot of effort and continuous development. So we benefited from the global knowledge indicator, which constitute a paving the way to reinforce the knowledge-based economies. And here I would like to thank UNDP and Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum Knowledge Foundation for their huge effort for the last decades. And I wish them all the best to enrich the Arab countries and the global countries in order to achieve more things, to achieve sustainable development and knowledge community, and especially in your commitment in launching the 2020 indicator, regardless of this huge pandemic that we are suffering currently. Ladies and gentlemen, your excellencies, dear attendees, I would like to thank you again and wish you all the best. Khalid Abdel Ghaffar, Minister of Higher Education, Scientific Research, Egypt. Thank you very much. Your Excellency, the Minister of Higher Education and Scientific Research in Egypt, thank you very much for your participation. Dear attendees, UNDP is one of the highest organizations globally, and it has offices all around the world. It has got a big contribution in dealing with the economical and also in of the knowledge it has got to deal with these issues. We are honored today to have Dr. Murad Wahba, Associate Administrator in UNDP. So, floor is yours, Dr. Murad. Thank you very much. Your Excellency Khalid Abdel Ghaffar, Minister of Higher Education and Scientific Research in Egypt. Your friend, my friend and brother, Your Excellency Jamal Ibn al-Nahwerib, CEO of MBRF. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, our dear attendees. I would like, at the beginning of my word, to convey the best greetings of the Director of United Nations Development, Mr. Achim Steiner, who unfortunately has got something prevented him to participate with us today, even though he always was very keen to participate in all the activities under the umbrella and fruitful cooperation between Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum for knowledge and also UNDP. That partnership with the UNDP worked for the last 20 years, and we celebrated the 10th anniversary before COVID-19 started in this world. We celebrated in New York and also in the UAE. So 10 years passed since the start of it, and we signed another agreement to renew it for another 10 years to use the strength of knowledge. Today, we are announcing a start of a new decade of joint action in this good partnership, to which we are pleased to reaffirm our commitment and meet today to launch the Global Knowledge Indicator for 2020 with these outstanding partners around the world. Please allow me to thank deeply and to express my attitude for the UAE and for Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum Knowledge Foundation for the pioneering, the partnership work, and for adopting the framework knowledge and for sustainable development. And also, I would like to appreciate the role of Egypt in putting the policies on the Arab and global level, and also to focus on the knowledge community as a source for knowledge-based community in Egypt. We are gathering today to celebrate the 75th anniversary, 10 years since the partnership with Mohammed bin Rashid, and 75 years since the establishment of United Nations, and we have common goals. Because we hope that to spread knowledge and spread science as a base for sustainable development. So, since the launch of this year, UNDP and its partner Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum for knowledge to remind the main communities and also to remind stakeholders in academic, scientific, and industrial sectors in all the world with the sectors of knowledge. And it's important and focus on the future to build our communities in a better way and to guarantee the recovery of our economy from this pandemic. If we look about how to construct our communities, mainly it will focus on knowledge and science, and not only on the economical capabilities. We have to retain the momentum, even though we are still counting losses from this pandemic. And that reminds us to work together to face these challenges, and also that strengthen the importance of the SDGs. Today, we are in a great need to unite together again in order to face what human being is facing because of this human health crisis and what community crisis we are facing, and also climate change that threaten our future. And also, so knowledge is remaining as a milestone in order to help building our future. Your Excellency, Mr. Jamal Ben Ahwereb, hopefully we will meet again next time, face to face, soon. Thank you very much for your attention. Thank you very much, Dr. Murad Wahba, Associate Administrator for UNDP. As you said,
has several initiatives for the knowledge around the world and many of other informations. Would like to welcome, ladies and gentlemen, His Excellency Jamal bin Ahwereb, the Executive Manager of the Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum Knowledge Foundation. Please to the stage. Thank you. His Excellency Dr. Khalid Abdel-Ghaffar, Minister of Higher Education and Scientific Research of the Arab Republic of Egypt. His Excellency Dr. Murad Wahba, Associate Director of the United Nations Development Program. Excellency Khalid Abdel Shafi, Regional Manager of the Arab countries in the UNDP. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace be upon you. Today we meet again in this press conference that we launch, and would like to explain about the Global Knowledge Index 2020 under exceptional circumstances in the world under the COVID-19. And this increased our keenness in Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum Knowledge Foundation and the United Nations Development Program to increase the Global Knowledge Index 2020. This is our decision and our work together, our efforts as intensives. We have it from our wise leadership and their vision. And I'd like to have the speech of His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, the Vice President, Prime Minister of the United Arab Emirates, about COVID-19. He said, COVID-19 is an international crisis. We are living in the same fate, and we cannot leave our duties, our tasks alone. So we should put our results for this Global Knowledge Index in 2020 in front of the decision makers and experts to put their efforts immediately for the challenges internationally, especially the new one. In fast glance, for 2020 that we have, thanks God, the United Arab Emirates has achieved very unique results to reflect the experiences of the specialists in the United Arab Emirates, and it keeps its position within the best 20 in the world in 3 places in advance, and it has the 15th place right now and the second in the world for the economy for the 4th year, and it has a 10th class for the education before the university, and the first in the 5 indexes and access and other changes. Ladies and gentlemen, for the last year, and the Global Knowledge Index has explained and achieved several comprehensive understanding with a deep understanding for the aspects of the life. And we can say here the knowledge became the cornerstone and the basic stone to reach the highest level of the education and the development in all levels. We still believe that the role of the knowledge, especially after COVID-19, which is the education and the science that provide the vaccination and the economy of the knowledge, is very important. And the wisdom that gives us the tolerance and the peace in our societies, that we accordingly we can face the future crisis. Ladies and gentlemen, all the index results explained several that and proved that the scientific research is one of the most important sectors all over the world in all countries, and it reflects the highest level. Now we can say here this is very important to increase the investment and to develop this sector as much as we can, and we can concentrate so much on all the development applications that's for the infrastructure and the digitalization of the infrastructure. In the end, I would like to assure here that the results of the Global Knowledge Index came very close to the reality, and it has a great support because this index leads to enhance the knowledge around the world and increase the sustainable development and increase the actual and active dialogue between the countries in knowledge and other policies around the world. and with the new capabilities and innovation can be provided around the world, that we are so ambitious as much as we can provide these capabilities to achieve the development and the sustainable development. Before I end my speech, I'd like to congratulate to the Arab Republic of Egypt for this increased support and increased advances. And it has increased and advanced last year and became once again in the an advanced country. This means that the key of the wise leadership of the Arab Republic of Egypt, and congratulations for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia for the supporting and advancing in 10 classes. This reflects the keenness of the wise leadership in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. It became one of the productive countries in the global knowledge index. I'd like to leave you right now for the UNDP to display the results of the global knowledge index. Thank you very much and all the best. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you very much for His Excellency Jamal bin Moharib, the Chief Executive, for his speech. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to have the partnership between the UNDP and MBR Knowledge Foundation. So we have the Global Knowledge Index 2020. Would like to welcome Dr. Hani Turki, the Chief of the Advisors and Consultants, who will display and show here that after that we have the Q&A. Open the floor to the Q&A. Thank you. Please, Dr. Hani Turki, the floor is yours. Hello, Dr. Hani Turki, الكلمة لك. تفضل. The floor is yours. سعادة الأستاذ هاني. I think there is a technical problem with Dr. Hani. Can you wait for a while? Abdul Ghaffar, Minister of Higher Education and Scientific Research in Egypt. Our dear guests, would like to welcome you here. أعتذر عن ترجمة، الصوت غير واضح للدكتور هاني. Would like to thank his attendance and Mr. Achim Steiner. He is not available to attend our meeting today, and we are happy to launch. And thank you very much, Dr. Murad Wahba, for his attendance today. The index of global knowledge index for this year includes 108. And experts has started to work in the UNDP to create the Innovation 103 changes in the index. We're not here only, not only the results came here for the international index, 46.7 as international indicator or index, and the average was about 26. This is say because of the world countries in 2017, they suffered too much, and we have informed that countries that to go ahead and be interested in this sector. As you can see here in this slide, we have a great gap between the first 25 countries in the world and the last 25 countries in the world. And the data, which is random data, we cannot close the gap for these countries. And because we need this, and we have to support that countries for the future and to support the knowledge production. What are the other before that we have to mention and to approve the data and the documentary data to be provided here. We have found here very close support for this indicator, or a global knowledge indicator or index. And we have the first 25 countries together, most of them using the best in Singapore and the United Arab Emirates, and the last 5 countries completely from the Sahara or from the African desert, and 1 in Asia, 1 Middle Europe, and from Latin America. The next steps for this, we are expecting to have in 2021 to continue shaping the future. And most of the countries all over the world will participate in this index, and it will be inactive and reactive with this procedures after COVID-19, and we have highlighted this one for all the countries around the world. By next year, we will continue and will be ahead. Also, we informed the countries that there is no enough information, and you should provide this information for the decision makers and the political makers, especially for the AI or artificial intelligence, to support the decision makers in the global knowledge index. Also, we develop these assimilation tools that provide for the policymakers and decision makers to analyze the information and predict them, and also to support them to understand the indicator or index with similarity or assimilation tools and its effects. Also, we have a communication with 28 world or global experts to support a Global Knowledge Index 2021 and new criteria next year. In the end, I would like to thank you very much the teamwork of the Mohammed bin Rashid Knowledge Foundation, headed by His Excellency Jamal bin Huwairib, for his support and great support either in the United Arab Emirates or Lebanon or anywhere. And I thanks very much UNDP for their efforts and giving more information about in these circumstances, and very good to cooperate with countries, especially under COVID-19. and provide all the information in 131 countries around the world. Thank you very much for all the teamwork in the United Nations Development Program, and wishing to see you again face to face in 2021. Thank you very much. All the best. Now, the questions. If you have any questions, please, you can send us this email. Allow me to ask His Excellency Dr. Khalid Abdel Ghaffar, and I wish it to be easy. How Egypt did its advancing its efforts to be proceeded for 27 degrees, and it became 42nd in the world. When speaking about the education before the university,
it's a
or academy, and it's a group work actually,
and we work according to the international indicator, not only this indicator. We need to have all the information and data in order to show the role of Egypt in dealing in the different sectors. No wonder that Egypt focused on digitalization and digital transformation, and focused on the services and enabling environment on the level of ministries and the services for citizens. Regarding higher education, as you know, we are now facing unprecedented time for Egypt regarding finance and also the investment in education. I'm not mentioning establishing new university like the new private universities like the 4 huge ones in Al Jalala and Bin Salman in Sharm el Sheikh. Also Al Alamein in Al Alamein area and Al Mansoura University, but also I am mentioning the practical and vocational education. We started in 3 universities, and we received students last 2 years in the new capital. Also, we paid attention to the international education by establishing more international or branches for the international universities and developing also university curriculum and also training programs for teachers. In addition to putting the national strategy for artificial intelligence, in addition to the other projects in scientific research and also the space city. I'm mentioning more than 45 huge projects that we are working at since the last 3 years, as you mentioned, in 2018 till 2020. All these efforts showed the big development in scientific research and higher education to be fourth in the rank of 42. Even I think we deserve to be more advanced than 42. But when I look at the details of the assessment, I noticed that part of the assessment is based on information which is not available, like expenditure and spend on the higher education. And I think this indicator, we have seen the raise by how the budget of the country spent or invested in higher education, but because I can't see it here in the indicator, for that we are getting accountable for not available information. But next year we will take it into consideration in order to reach to all information and details in order to have more accurate assessment, and I'm sure we will get a higher rank than 42. And that's exactly in higher education. Back to you, Dr. Hani. Thank you very much, Mr. Hani. First, please allow me to congratulate Egypt for their rank in the indicator and index. And also, I would like to congratulate KSA. And I would like to thank all our partners in Mohammed, Rashid, and Maktoum for this partnership that is going last deep in the history. And hopefully it will be also in the future. Regarding your question, as you know, Corona started as a pandemic, and it started to work as a very important in the whole world. And also it impacted the other economies. Before this pandemic, we started to live for the current circumstances in the Arab world and for the different mean. And this one added insult to injury. As you know, the UNDP have been assigned from the Secretary of the United Nations to lead the way in responding to the economical, social sectors in all the global countries, and to lead the United Nations system in the different countries in this response. This response is going in different aspects, but I would like to mention some of them. The first one, strengthening the health systems in the different countries that we are working at in cooperation with the governments and the service providers. Another field, which is social protection for the more vulnerable people. This pandemic has led the unemployment, and also there's more vulnerable people now. And so we are working with the governments to strengthen the social systems in these countries. Another sector, we work with other partners in helping small and medium companies, which constitute a big sector in our of the economy in our world, Arabic world, and in the whole world. And finally, I would like to mention our work with the government in the field of governance and also improving the remote services because of this pandemic. Now, education is remote, health is remote, and because of this, we discovered a lot of gaps in the digital governance systems. And we know in the UAE, it's really an example in this field. But in many other Arab countries, governance and electronic services still behind. And for that, we hope to see an opportunity from this pandemic to recover and to build in a better way. When we deal with other services, enough for the answer. Thank you very much.
شكرا جزيلا. Question
Another
is
question from Mr. Jamal.
that the United Arab Emirates
Sorry, I
achieved
can't hear the question.
and and it became very good position in the world. There is no secret
There
here
is no secret,
for
especially with this leadership,
with leadership,
the
with
wise
wise
leadership
leadership. The United Arab
in
Emirates
the UAE.
is one of the
They are
leader
leading
of
this
this
advancement and they built this
development
civilization
and
that we are
prosperity,
very
this
proud
civilization
globally.
that we are so happy
And
for
when we
this
see the
leadership.
UAE,
And thanks God, the
they
United
are
Arab
on
Emirates
this
achieved
advanced
this
rank.
advanced
We would like to
situation
thank
and
our
the place.
government.
And thank you very much for our government.
We would like to thank
Thanks very much for our president, His Highness Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan, the president of the United Arab Emirates. May God bless him. His vice, his deputy, His Excellency, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, the Prime Minister of the United Arab Emirates, also His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, for all of their support. And so we are the first or the second, or this is very good works. And also after decades of the work and very hard work together, our leadership, God bless them, working day and night. And I can say it's true. They are working only for the people, for the comfortness of the people, for the love of the people, and especially when the COVID-19 occurred, they gave a great example for in all sectors. Today, we are facing a challenging this COVID-19, and the UAE leads the world in this field, in all fields actually. When we say this country, and we find this country is a great ideal for all Arab countries wants to be succeeded, want to reach the high levels as United Arab Emirates in the civilization. Actually, the governments of the UAE, also the people of UAE, who are the people who made this work, this index. When we go back for 5 decades, we can see few number of graduates, university graduates. Today, the UAE is the leading country in the top of the 20 countries, and it became in the 15th in the world. And thanks God, we are under this leadership and this very keen people. So we are in this location, this place. I'm very happy to see the United Arab Emirates advanced from 18th place to the 15th place, and also very happy to see Egypt that goes 10 places in the future, and very happy for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia for their leadership to go advanced 10 places, and all of us, Egypt, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates will have the first 10th. And thanks very much, Your Excellency Gamal. I have 3 questions. The other question, please, to His Excellency Dr. Khalid Abdel Ghaffar. Do you hear me? Yes. The question repeated many times, who the youth who attended this press conference, actually, they are asking, what's your advice for the youth and young men? is it enough to study or to read or to discuss, to study, or in the university's degree or qualifications, or they need more and more skills for the labor work or the labor markets, especially the global labor markets has competitiveness and a lot of competitiveness. So they are asking you, what's your advice for the young men and the youth, especially the Arab youth, for the education and learning? Actually, Dr. Hani, thank you very much for this very important question. And all the people are going side by side and all the people goes to see and to want to listen, to know how Egypt is advanced. What are the skills for the labor market? So I think it's very clear and very pure to all of the world and what most of the developed sciences. It goes side by side with the academic and learning stages. So in this case, we try to close the gap in between, and the work or the labor markets needs a lot of technical and educational with different skills for the youth. How we can achieve the skills of the 21 who is thinking very good about the group working in groups or financially or group. The answer will be here that to interesting in the education is a side, and the chances after the revolutionary industrial revolution, the fourth industrial revolution, it will come a very great support, and many of the people will lose their job after COVID-19, but you try to find out not because of the question, what are your skills to face the future? What about your training courses that you have? What about your qualifications? So this is the question that you are expecting the future. And we know that there are specific or special skills for the graduates. We know that Egypt is one of the countries that working very hard in this field, not only for the university graduates, but also for the other specialities, not only in the local level, but also in the international level. My advice to all of the youth who are attending this conference through the internet and through the Global Knowledge Index 2020. So actually, we advise them to make search or to make scientific research, to go to read and to qualify themselves, to have the chance and to be well qualified, and to have the chance to increase their skills. Don't depend on only that certificate that you have already achieved, but also you can concentrate about the future skills that would help you and will give you chances and to have the opportunities in the labor markets in the world, in the technology and in the other fields. Don't stop in the academic certificate. It just opened the door for you, but now you can go through that door to collect and to get more and more information about this. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Doctor. And hopefully we will have this, and the knowledge will be a part of building the skills of the Egyptian youth and the Arab youth in general. Through Dr. Khalid Abdel Shafi. Last question will be for Mr. Jamal, and I have plenty of questions. How the United Nations Development Program can help in this field? The relation between these and what the relation between the index and the other sciences, environment, economy, and to develop the economy, whatever.
In the different Arab countries. We found that the topic of innovation, we need to invest more with its existence in a lot of countries around the world. Sorry, sound is not clear. That participated in making the sub-indicators and also presenting more suggestions for the governments and assigned entities to improve the Arab countries in this indicator. The last question. Involving foreign experience in the indicator for countries. Why we don't have an international Arab forum involving citizens and also expert entities? We have got the Knowledge Summit annual forum that experts gather from all over the world, and they discuss what's new in the field of knowledge. And also they discuss the GKI who can't attend the summit. They can attend through YouTube and social media platforms, and he can see this summit. The experts, all the advanced countries, they are doing so. They can, and they are now bringing these experts and their experience to achieve the best results. USA, for example, they have experts all around the world. Europe, the same scenario, and also in the UAE and the advanced countries, we have our experts because this experience is raised raising the science level and exchanging experiences. And also, if we go back to the history, the Arab, when they used to lead the science field, they exchanged their knowledge to the whole world. Now, the knowledge holder from all over the world, we can benefit from them, and also we can reach faster to what they had. So thank God, in the UAE here, we benefited from the experts, the local experts, and also the Arab experts, and even the non-Arab experts who have knowledge and science. For that, you find the UAE. They are now the UAE is racing the other cultures and civilizations. Thank you, Mr. Jamal. At the end, I would like to remind all the young people who are with us that they can go to our website to download the assessment and even the other information which is free all over the world, and they can communicate with us, especially the knowledge project and the other social platform for Mohammed bin Rashid Knowledge Foundation. At the end, I would like to thank Dr. Khaled Abdel Ghaffar, Minister of Higher Education and Scientific Research in Egypt, and congratulations again for the first place in the indicator. Also, I would like to thank His Excellency Jamal bin Huwairib, the CEO for MBRF, for his continuous support. And also, I would like to thank Dr. Khalid Abdel Shafi, the biggest supporter for the Knowledge Project in the Middle East. And hopefully, we will meet again in another launch next year.